Hey guys, welcome to Coaching with Chris. Look, I'm pretty excited today, but more importantly, look, if you're not sharing, following, liking, commenting, I want to do something like really fun. So every time that you would share, follow, like, or comment, I'm going to put you into a drawing. I'm going to give away your choice of our 2 custom Windsor tennis shoes. Like, these are the most comfortable, one of my favorite tennis shoes to ever wear. So look, like, share, comment. I'm going to put you in the drawing. We're going to give away a pair of sneakers for you. But let me get to my guest. I grew up in a coaching program, and one of my first coaches that really changed my life was Shayla. Like, I really, really wanted Shayla to coach me. And then more importantly, I was like wanting to understand and how she did her business and how she worked with these builders. And for the first probably 3 months, she maybe tells it different, I don't know. But like for the first 3 or 4 months, I tried to play perfect. And I think that she was trying to coach me of not being perfect. And it took me a while to like really get it. Like I didn't get it right away. And then I started to get it because I thought perfect was being the good student. And the truthfully is that the less I was perfect, the more it was attractive to out. And I would always tell everyone, like, I'm grateful for Shayla to like push me to be in this feely good thing, which I don't really like. And 2 was not to play perfect. And it was like those 2 things was one of the ingredients that continues to live in me today. So when Shayla reached out, she's got a new coaching program. She's got all these new exciting things. I'm like, yes, yes, yes. Let's figure out a way to get Shayla. So if you want to change your origination business, I would say pay attention, listen, take good notes, ask good questions, because Shayla's going to change your business. Shayla, are you there?
I am here. I was filming you as you were doing that, Chris.
Aww. Like right before we get on, Shayla's got mic problems, can't hear. She's fumbling her around. And I'm like, it couldn't be any more perfect. Like, this is perfect. This is the way Shay and I roll.
Exactly.
Just like this. Like, if it was prepared, it wouldn't be real.
I forgot that was one of the key initial things that we worked on. I mean, by the way, coaching you is probably one of the biggest joys of my life, Chris. You say like when the student is ready, the teacher appears, but like for a coach or a teacher, having an eager student is the greatest gift. And if there's one, adjective that would go under your name forever, it is Chris Vincent, eager. You are eager about life. You are full of zest, full of passion, just like go, go, go. But I've never had anybody from day one, like be really intentionally intense about saying, I'm going to be your favorite student. Like of all time, I will be your favorite. I think you mailed something to me in the mail like every single week. And you were showing up wanting it so bad. And it was in that semester, I think I might have coached you twice. Did I? Because at the beginning, it was right when you were forced to originate. Here you were, you had built a company, you had sold it. You were what I would consider the best non-producing manager I've ever seen of all times. People had no clue what you knew. You knew how to run secondary and how to run all the financials of the company and how to lead underwriting and how to originate. And like, you're so all about your people. And then your ideas are like off the chain. Every other day, you've got some new marketing idea or contest or sales ability or way to like explain something in a fun way. And so I already saw you as this like, holy crap, like, look at this leader, look at this guy in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And yet it wasn't good enough for the program we were in. Like you couldn't just be that guy and best ever. You had to be forced to originate. And I watched you go from like not originating to go, no, I'll do it.
Right.
And
I remember that day.
You pumped up your volume to like 25 loans a month quickly, because obviously you'd done it in the past. you come from an incredible sales background. You really wanted to lead by example, but like you just put into practice what you teach every day and on these coaching calls. And I got to be witness
Mm.
to you adding that into your life and your business on top of what I already considered the most exceptional non-producing leader I've ever met in our business. And then either it was in that same semester or there was a blessing of a second semester, you came up with Windsor. And I remember I was there through the iterations of like, what am I going to call it? And what is the logo going to look like? And the thing around the tie and the Windsor
Oh my
knot. I mean,
God.
like it was so fun to be a part of this. And then to watch you do what you've done in expanding your impact and building this monster business. I'm stoked for you. I'm so proud of you.
Well, I think you, but like, look, guys, if you don't know Shayla, she built a monster business herself, runs a big, huge region, took over sales, like, decided during COVID to go overseas for a while. It's fun because we both think like these crazy things. But you know, the biggest lesson that I think I've learned lately is that, you know, you're building a coaching company and you've coached hundreds of loan officers across the country. You just can't the coach can't want it worse than the student. Like
Yeah.
the student has to want it worse than the coach. But the energy that the coach gets when the student wants it worse,
Oh,
it's like priceless.
it
Price
is.
of that feeling. Would you agree?
Well, it's like anything. I think all of us loan officers know when we meet like a new realtor partner or builder at a coffee appointment and they are all in and we are all in, like that synergistic energy and momentum is like no other, especially when you meet that counterpart in somebody else. And so you and I are the same. You're like a brother from another mother. Like we don't have to talk for a year. You guys, Chris was calling me. I'm living in Spain. In 8 years, I was in the same coaching program as Chris. I went from one girl in a backpack, never had an LOA, never even had a processor, had no idea what it meant to have a calendar or time blocking or any of these things. I had just had hustle and drive and grittiness, and I'd been broke and I didn't want to be broke anymore. But we get in the same program. And in 8 years, from 2010 to 2018, not only did I hire my first LOA, my second, my third, my first loan officer, my second, my third, my next satellite, my second, my third, but I had grown from like one girl to 78 employees in $1 billion thing. And at the same time, I've joined the Builders Association and I'm on the board and I'm running that committee and I'm coaching in the core and I'm coaching realtors. And I had 2 babies. I built a house, custom home from scratch, which might as well just like pop your head off. And all kinds of other family stuff that went on. So come 2019, I'm 38 years old and I retired from the coaching program. I needed to like take a step away from the pressure juice, right? Because I have driven my life on pressure. I've always wanted to be exceptional. I've always wanted to have an extraordinary life. And I've always thought that if I just put myself under extreme pressure all the time, then I will perform and impress people and, stand out and blah, blah, blah. Well, 2018 comes around and I'm tired. I am freaking tired. And Chris doesn't have a tired mode.
I do.
Yeah, right.
I do.
Yeah, right. So I decided to go do a personal offsite retreat because I was like, I need to get back connected to me. What do I really want? What does my heart want? What does my soul want? And I hadn't asked those questions. I hadn't thought for myself, like I bought into the core and the coaching program that says your value is based on your money and your net worth. And, I remember for years, Chris, you were not valuable enough or good enough or able to be a coach because your net worth wasn't some X number. Not about anyway, sidebar. So my whole world had narrowly focused into how much money are you making? What are your numbers? And where do you stand in some ranking? And I got to tell you that that's not what my soul or heart connected to. And it started feeling really yucky. It started feeling completely out of alignment. I was end up being sick kind of all the time. I was run down. I was getting cold sores all the time. And so I was like, okay, regather. I do this offsite retreat. I do a lot of journaling. And in that journaling exercise of thinking about joy and, living one life to live and everything else, I'm like, I want to move abroad. I want to go to Spain. So I would spend the next year to prepare, and we moved to Spain. We ended up living there for like 2.5 years over COVID. For the first time in my life, I had space. I had time, I had space. And Chris would call me and say, do you remember this, Chris? And you'd have a new idea and you'd have a new thing. And I'd be like, bro, like,
you don't want to.
I'm just trying to live right now. Like, I just want to be like, stop pumping the excitement juice and the pressure juice. I'm just done.
I remember having those conversations. And I'm like, okay, I'm not getting the energy back. So I ain't having any of that shit. I don't want whatever shit she's got. I don't want that shit. So I was just like, gotta go.
And thank God. Hey, thank God you did. Because the energy that you had during that time, Chris, which is amazing, you built foundation and you supported people and you built Windsor through all of that. And you held people and you held a space for people. And like now what you've been able to hold space for in the other side of the, market correction is just phenomenal. So it's like, truly, we're happy that you don't have a very big tired mode because what you've done seriously for the industry, and I think about it often, is really remarkable. So, but anyway, I'm back and I got my freaking juice on, and I've been excited now for, like 2 years. And I'm really passionate about helping people find their fire again, like find their life force. What is that thing that's going to make you feel alive and passionate and juiced up and like, what is it that you really, really want? And let's go build it. Let's get back to that enthusiasm that may have doled out over the last several years.
Right. But, I want to get to all that, but like, just so everybody's like clear, you are still goal oriented.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You still have numbers. Like, it's just not, well, it'll just be what it'll be. I'll just live this way and this makes me happy. No, you chase number. You're very guys. Shayla is very talented with numbers. Very talented.
Okay.
She could be a mathematician in anything she wanted. She can dissect numbers. I remember one time it was my first year as a loan officer to make $1 million, which is, you probably remember that for you as well, right?
I do, yeah.
I'm 8,900 short. 8,900 short. I go to the CFO. I go, hey, I'm closing these 2 deals. Can you pay me in December so I can get my W-2 to say $1 million? Right.
Right.
He goes, no, I can't. So I go home. I come up with an idea. I go into his office the next day and I go, I got a better idea. He goes, what's that? I'll give you the 8,900 so you can give it to me. I'm like, he goes, have you lost your mind? I go, maybe. I just needed to say that. He goes, absolutely not. Get it next year. And I was like, I am never getting to the fourth quarter again and having to go through it. But yeah, you're right.
Because I think a lot of men that I've coached over the years do not feel justified, do not feel they have the credibility until X has happened, until they've got that extra zero on their W-2 or, X, title or whatever. And I've coached a lot of men like that. And it's ludicrous when you really think about it, but it's also fun, like have goals, get stoked. I remember that, the first goal of wanting to make 100,000, right? Because that was like, that was a big deal. Then it was like, I wanted to make more money than my dad in a year. And my dad's a longtime entrepreneur. And I was like, just 1 year, I want to make more money than my father. And then, I don't know. And then there's other things.
All these milestones.
I remember coming out to South Dakota and we went to a concert and you and Shalise brought me and Gemma to, oh gosh, she's like one of our favorites.
Thomas Rhett.
Thomas Rhett. And I showed you my P&L because I'm like, look, Chris, look how much money I made this month. And I just felt so good that I have friends like that, because it's not like you can go to barbecues and talk about this stuff.
Right.
So yeah, I say that I was just wanting to be, as I was in Spain, and I wanted to live. What I mean when I say that is I wanted to expand Shayla. Like I feel like my soul's purpose is expansion always. It doesn't mean that I forget or I drop any of the skills, but I remember having a fear, like if I go to Spain and I live this dream, am I now not going to be relatable? Which is crazy. But I really have this desire to create belonging and to belong. And I think we all do. And sometimes this is the way in which we sabotage our own success and like hold ourselves back. And I remember talking to a friend who's Italian, has lived all over the world and everything. And I told her about this when I went and like did a check it out trip. And she goes, you'll never forget where you came from, and you'll never forget these experiences. So like you and I know, Chris, I'm still the girl that lived on an air mattress in my office, broke as hell. Like that's still a very big part of who I am. I remember budgeting down to my last, $4 for Chinese buffet or birth control. Like you never forget. And whatever skills that you acquire, you'll never forget those too. But I often see so many people say, well, I don't want to screw it up. Things are going so good for me. I'm afraid to screw things up. Like that's the craziest thing you could ever say. What that's saying is that you actually don't believe that you were responsible or in control or under, in your own power to create what you've created. Like where you're at right now, where you and I are at right now, is a culmination of every choice and every action we've ever taken. Right now, I believe in God and destiny, and there's a lot of other things that we can't control, but like we are actively making choices and decisions every single day. And the question is, are they in alignment to what we want to create? And at that stage of my life, I wanted to create expansion. I wanted my life to be more than just one dimensional. And I wanted to feel the other parts of my being. I wanted to feel playful. I wanted to feel spontaneous. I wanted to feel rested.
Yeah.
Now, I was blessed that my team did 700 loans a year as I was in Spain, and my branches did over 5,000 loans a year because it was COVID. So it's not like I went, pooh, I'm going to go out in the jungle and do ayahuasca and just not do anything. It was a shift of a focus, an intentional focus. And so, yeah, do I know my numbers? Hell yeah. Do I have goals? This last month, Chris, I finished 75 hard. I did it the full year of 75 hard. I had a habit tracker group with 10 realtors where we had my habit tracker from Catalyst. Everyone had 4 habits. We reported every single day on our habits. I was running my May sales contest for our branch. We called it May Mayhem, where we tracked locks and leads and credit pulls. And we spun the wheel every week and had prizes in groups. And it was freaking fun. And I'm texting motivational stuff to my group. I'm being coached by Ben Newman right now, by Nancy Levin. I'm doing reinvention, and by Amber Vilhauer, who's launched like 1,000 authors. So I'm triple coached. And then I went on 5 road trips teaching Rainmaker stuff. So I love, if the perception at all is like Shayla's just into this like woo, woo, woo. Like, no, I'm a freaking nut job. I'm an animal.
My gosh, that is amazing. And I didn't know you knew Amber. I remember Amber from like 2020, and I shout out to her. Like she's amazing. I remember when she had her first couple book launches out there, and man, she is a gem. She is awesome.
She's my first female coach. And,
wow.
Granted, what we're working on now is much different than loan officer coaching, which was how many calls, how many face-to-faces, how many meetings, how many break breads, how many leads, what's your conversion, what's your pre-approval, let me see your budget, all that stuff. Super, super valuable and important for the phase of the career where I was going from 28 million in production to 100 million in production, right?
Right.
At the stage I'm at is really focused on being an effective and influential leader and making the most impact. And also, I suck at this thing called marketing. I mean, I think Did you
What?
take my,
I
did you,
watch you everywhere. Your marketing's fantastic.
well, I have people and I'm following a plan, but like, did you take my archetype, my Rainmaker archetype?
I started.
Okay.
And
And
then
you're busier than hell. I don't know if you want to do this with your group. I don't know, but
I think we should.
I could walk you guys through it and do the archetype because this is my language. This is my creation.
Yeah.
And it'd be kind of fun to play with if
The
we have
first four
time.
questions that I did and then I got pulled away were awesome. They would even have been better for me if I was currently like originating in the grind, because then I felt like I was like trying to guess which category I was.
I know.
Uh,
I could present and walk people through taking the archetype. I don't know if we want to frame it up a little bit more about
yeah, let's frame it up. Like, I mean, Shayla's got a really cool event coming up on June 12th. And so as you're listening to this, you get to decide, like, should I join this call? And I think it's a Zoom call. And we're going to make sure we put a link in here so you guys can do it. But this is a big deal. And like literally, Shayla has helped hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of loan officers across the country, not only in her company, but in all across all states. And it doesn't matter the platform that you're originating the loan in, like she can help you. And she's got this really cool deal coming up on June 12th. And how you want to lead into that or how you want to lead me through. I mean,
well, let's do it.
I think, so I'm following your lead.
Just the quick backstory. And by the way, I just saw 9:22 on the clock. That's Galen's birthday. And I see this dang number. Do you see a number all the time?
Do I see a number all the time?
Yeah. Do you see like 1, 2, 3, 4 on the clock or 11:11 or anything like that?
No.
This is me getting you into your touchy-feely stuff.
Yeah. I don't really look at that stuff. I mean, I know it's 11:22 right now. That's all I know.
That's kind of a good one. It's a mathematical thing.
Yeah, it's a mathematical.
But somebody ended up saying that there's like, if you go to Daniel 9:22 in the Bible, there's a Bible verse about, God's giving me wisdom. And I see that number on the clock all the time. And I always just am like, wow, like life is so miraculous. And so anyway, it was just crazy that I just looked down and saw that, and I'm with you too. So, okay. So as I was trying to find my juice again and say, how am I going to be valuable to the world? And because believe it or not, we all hit a wall. We all hit this place of like, oh, like, I don't know if I got it in me, and where am I going to find my enthusiasm? And what does the market need from me? What are my skills and assets? How can I serve? But that happened to me after 2022 and into 23, when I had built this fantastic team, people I love. I mean, so proud of the team that I built. And then I had to slowly tear it apart. I had 5 rounds of layoffs, 65 people I had to personally lay off. I wasn't like you, Chris, and went and built and was driving. We had built a great thing, and then we were completely, weak to the market changes. And so like as a leader, I felt like I failed, and like, how am I going to serve going forward? Because,
by the way, I went through this.
Okay.
So I wasn't like excluded. Don't treat me like I was excluded. I've been through layoffs. They suck. They suck. They suck. I hate them.
Yeah. And if there's anything, you and I really, really, really detest failure and feeling like if we fail, then we're failures. And like, what does that say about us? And like, it just rocks our whole sense of well-being in the world. Now, I could go on and on about how we want to evolve from that, but that's just truth. So I start looking and saying, how did I get here in the first place? And as a loan officer, most loan officers have been doing this for over 21 years. Okay. Some of you might be doing it 5 or 10 or whatever. I had to ask these questions. How did I get here in the first place? And what do people need in the market? And so what I would say is that most everybody right now could honestly say, I got here in the first place because I was bold. I was courageous. I went out and met people. I got uncomfortable. I asked questions. I solved people's problems. I was excited. I went networking. Like I went out there to meet people enthusiastically. And then what happened? The market took off. Our businesses took off. COVID happened. And like what I'm experiencing is most of us got away from how we got here in the first place. And how I got here in terms of being a valuable leader and feeling good about my life was coaching people. And I was like, I got to get back to doing what I'm uniquely capable and made to do and what the people need. Same thing with enthusiasm. I believe that realtors, our realtor partners, they need our energy, our hope, our belief, our enthusiasm. But if I don't have it in myself, I'm just BSing all day long, and people can feel if it's disingenuous, right? So how am I going to get excited again? How am I going to look in the mirror with conviction and know that I'm the right person for the job? Like I remember getting to a place, Chris, and I know you know this too. I'm pulling up into Starbucks. I'm meeting a realtor for the very first time, however the heck I got them. And I'm literally feeling like, Shayla, don't blow this, because I know if they work with someone else, it's going to be bad for them. I know no one cares as much as I care. I know nobody is engaged and learning and masterful and like being coached like I am. I know nobody's as competitive as I am. Like there's a lot of things I'm not doing right, and there's a lot of weaknesses that I have, but I know like I can help this person be more successful and make more money if we like each other. Okay, let's just be clear.
Right.
If our values align and they're not a douchebag and they're not, living in the gray or the black or whatever. So the Rainmaker concept came about because I said, okay, what was the biggest inflection point in my life? Like that physically changed me and changed the opportunity that I could have for my family. And it was back then in 2010 when I went to the core training and I met Josh Sigmund. And probably similar experience for you, Chris. And I was already successful. I already had this big ego. I already was a control freak. And I'm a college dropout making $300,000 a year. I'm thinking like, this is kind of a
big deal.
I'm a big deal and this is as good as it gets. And, I knew that like my lifestyle sucked and I was stressed all the time and my volume was a roller coaster, but I kind of just thought that's how it goes in this industry. Like, this is sales. This is mortgage. It kind of sucks, and I had all these limiting beliefs or stories about what it is. Well, then I go meet a real rainmaker in Josh, and he was earning 3 times the money I was earning. And I'm going, he's not 3 times as talented. He's not working 3 times the hours. He's not 3 times whatever, better looking, charming, convincing, or has the sales ability. So like, what is it? And, nobody ever called it at that time, like a rainmaker, but this is, as I've done a lot of soul searching and I've studied and coached a ton of people, this is what I've come to is like, if we can embody being a rainmaker, this is when we get control of our success. This is when we stand in the power seat of playing in the biggest version of ourselves. This is where we create opportunity. We don't wait for it, but we create it. We become abundant and limitless because we have a plan. We know where we're going. We know what to do. Like we're after it, right? And so I met him and I went from $300,000 to $450,000. By the way, 982, Chris.
So you did have a 9 number too. And
I think it's the best ever to just miss it by a little because
it is. It hurt.
You pissed. So anyway, I'll just share my screen if I'm allowed to present here. What I want to show you is so many people are like, okay, Shay, I get it. I want to be a rainmaker because I'm sick of working with people I don't like. I'm sick of chasing leads. I'm sick of being treated like a commodity. I'm sick of like not being highly referred or having people follow my process. Everything is a rush. I'm sick of just having too much stress of like knowing where my next paycheck is going to come from and not feeling in control. And that's where people are at. And so people are like, okay, I get it. I want it, but like, how do I do it? Yeah. And that's the key thing is like, you've got to figure out how to do it in your style and your strength, right? I was not Josh. Josh is a dude. Josh is in San Antonio. Josh is 6'5". Like I'm a chick. The whole thing. Mm-hmm. So I came up with this archetype quiz, which helps you. There's 8 questions. I'm going to walk you guys through it that helps you understand like, what are your strengths? And then how do you leverage 2 different archetypes for growth? So let's just do it.
Okay.
And then share.
Now, am I taking this with you or what are we doing here?
Yeah, you're going to take it with me.
All right, let's do it.
I know. I'm super psyched. Okay. So by the way, ShaylaGifford.com is my new website. Talk about branding and marketing. This is all Amber, by the way, Chris. There's a little pop-up over here about my June 12th call. We'll talk about it in a minute, but this is where I'm going to release the 10-10-10 Rainmaker Challenge. This is also where you can find the assessment. So just plug in ShaylaGifford.com into your browser. And then you're going to click on the assessment.
We just put the link right into the chat so everybody will have it.
Thank you. Once you're on the assessment page, you're going to scroll down to say, yes, show me my sales archetype.
Okay. I'm just following along with you, right?
Yep. And you're going to fill out your stuff. I'm going to fill out the quiz with you. It's already got my, oh, shoot. Now I got to do it again. Okay. All right. And then there's only 8 questions. So I'm just literally going to do it with you guys. And you're going to fill out the 8 questions. So number 1, what's the biggest risk to your business growth? Is it losing 1 or 2 key referral partners? That would be a major hit. Is it not being memorable enough to earn the referral that you use the spray and pray? Is it continually generating business that isn't in your wheelhouse, that you get lost in the weeds with the wrong leads? Or is it D, I hit a ceiling due to your capacity. I struggle to delegate. So Chris, you could think about growing Windsor and adding account executives and brokers to your business, whatever you want to do. I'm going to put myself back in the seat of a loan officer and say that that's my issue. All right. Second, how do you handle follow-up after an initial prospecting meeting? Number 1, you stay focused and you go deep with every new referral partner to ensure relationship is solid and profitable. Or you struggle to keep up with follow-up as you meet so many new people. Or you might send a digital follow-up by email, video, social, but it could be more powerful in actual converting a connection to a profitable relationship. Or last, I have a process for follow-up. It could be better and more personal, but I at least work at being consistent.
Yeah, I mean, geez, those are all good ones. I think we struggle with at all different times, but just being consistent with follow-up would be me. Like, I don't think a robotic follow-up counts, and yet I lean on robotic follow-up.
Right. Yeah. What's your biggest asset in your sales process? Is it your ability to create a raving fan referral partner that sends you most of their business? Just wish you had more. Is it your extensive network that you know a lot of people? Is it your personal brand that your face is everywhere? Or is it your technical abilities? What's your biggest asset in your sales process?
You know, I think that my biggest asset is probably I'm really good at the one-on-one, but just the needing of more, you know, there's only so much Chris. So does that fit under that category?
Yeah, I am realizing that you guys haven't been following along on my screen the whole time. Is this what you're saying?
I'm seeing
on this next question.
I'm not seeing anything. Okay, there it is. How would you describe it? I'm really great with when I meet people face to face, and I tend to do better one-on-one. I just need to do more of them. I would say, sure, let's grab that one.
Okay. Yeah. So some people see a lot of people in a group, or they're not face to face, or they get stuck behind their desk.
Okay.
So I'm going to pick that one. All right. Okay. What's your go-to sales tactic? Is it having consistent one-on-one conversations? Is it attending networking events? Is it social media? Or is it selling behind your desk? You're reliable at making calls and you're available.
Okay.
You answer it? Yep. I'm not picking for you. Is that what you thought I was doing?
No, I don't. I'm great with how you want to do it. I'm great at the one-on-one.
Okay, let's go back, Chris. Are you wanting? I can fill this out for you. I thought you were filling it out on your side. Hold on. We're going to go back and do this. So what's your biggest risk for growth? What was the first one? Was it not being memorable, continually generating the wrong business, losing 1 or 2, or hitting a capacity?
I'd say hit a ceiling due to capacity.
Okay. How do you follow up? You said you have a process, but it's not very personal.
Right.
Okay. What's your biggest asset?
My biggest asset is the ability to create a raving fan.
Okay. How would you describe your face-to-face prospecting efforts?
I'm really great at meeting people face to face. I just need to do better. I need
Okay.
to do more of them.
And what's your go-to sales tactic? Is it one-on-one conversations? Is it networking? Is it social media? Or is it selling from your desk?
Well, I mean, I feel like I want to answer all of them and in some part of a degree, but you're asking my go-to is one-on-one.
Okay. What's the biggest challenge you face in growing your business? You rely on too small number of accounts. You have lots of connections, but struggle with follow through. You feel confident in marketing, but light on powerful referral relationships, or you focus on doing the job and you don't invest enough in relationships or delegation.
I have a lot of connections, but struggle with the follow-up.
Yep. Where do you invest most of your time selling and growing your business? Building trust with people, networking, crafting your brand, or selling from your desk?
I love this one because it's building trust with people I like. That's my go-to. What I hate is that trying to build that with people that I don't.
All right. And when you think about your referral partner relationships, you feel that you have a few strong, deep relationships that convert well. You know a lot of people, but you need to get better at converting them. Your brand looks great online and you're working to create that into reliable opportunity, or you're great at delivering on promises, but need more relationships.
I know a lot of people, but need to get better at converting these relationships.
Yeah. Okay. So you're going to be unique, I think. Now you've got your results. You've got your results. You're going to get an email. You won't, Chris, because I put my email in here, but I can forward it to you.
How cool is this?
So you're super unique in that you actually have a three-way tie. And I would say, like, so many of us would look at you now and look at your social media and listen to you tell stories and think you're a marketer too. But we're talking to a highly evolved salesperson in Chris Vinson. What I would say, Chris, is generally most people will have, don't focus on if it says neutral or weak or strong or whatever. What you're looking for is your top two. Okay. So I think, Chris, you get out in the world and you go to these conventions and conferences and all that kind of stuff. So you're fueling your fire currently in business through a lot of networking and meeting people. Mm-hmm. I would say if you went back to just building in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, you were probably a trust builder technician. You knew how to do process and underwriting and closing on time and efficiently and building team better than anybody I know. And you were highly, highly, highly technical and strategic, and technicians love efficiency. And then trust builder is exactly what you've built with your team. Your team stays with you a really long time. So you could probably see how in different, in different settings, you're going to feel different. So I'll just show you guys one other that'll just put all three of them on here, because now you'll see kind of where I'm guiding people with this.
And guys, if you get this, follow this link, go do this today. Don't say I'll do it later. Go do it today. This is really, really cool.
Thanks. So here's the four archetypes. Trust builder. Trust builders focus on building deep, meaningful relationships with fewer clients and partners, but they convert at a really high percentage.
Right.
You have to be careful as a trust builder to not rely too heavily on a small number of accounts. Trust builder and technician are the two highest percentages I see with loan officers, most of them together. The least popular archetype is marketer, Chris. Only 9% of the 1,400 loan officers that fill this out are marketers. Yet so many people are trying to figure out how to be better marketers and spend money on social media and all this kind of stuff, when really they're not leveraging their natural archetypes. Okay. So trust builders, your one-on-one meetings are your secret weapon. You're lethal one-on-one. But let me ask you, in the last 30 days, how many new people have you met one-to-one? Belly to belly, one-to-one. That is where you got to go. Networkers, you're great at meeting people, small groups, large groups. However, you've got to be careful about having a bunch of shallow relationships that don't convert, right? You can't be running around doing, hey, bro, hey, girl selling. Hey, bro, what's up? Hey, girl, hey. Like,
it doesn't work.
That doesn't get the job done. You cannot be buddy selling. And you have to be strategic, because networkers often say yes to everything. And then they're stretched really thin, and then they don't do the follow-up that actually converts. Marketers are great at telling stories. Chris, you definitely have this skill set. I could listen to you on stage for days. Marketers, though, can struggle with imposter syndrome and comparing themselves to everybody else and saying, well, my brand looks really good, but can I deliver? They can also get caught up in the vanity metrics. Well, how many people are listening or watching or liking? And again, that doesn't get the job done.
Sure.
And a technician is strategic more than anything. They love efficiency. They might be the best person for the job at like actually technically doing the job, but often they suck delegating because they're so good technically that they hold on to it everything themselves. So you can see how now you get to see the strengths of your archetype. You can also see kind of the pinch points of what happens. The key to finding leverage and scale and to becoming a rainmaker is to actually leverage your primary and secondary archetypes. Okay. One is going to open the door and one is going to close the door. So Chris, if I put you back to that moment in time where you have been a non-producing manager, you already have like 20% market share with your team. And now I say, Chris, you've got to go originate. And you're like, okay, not only am I got to figure out how to do this and not compete with my own people, but I got to do it in my unique way. How am I going to do it? Guaranteed your technical brain woke up and said, okay, what is the most strategic, efficient way that I can do this with the least amount of people? Because I'm a trust builder. So how can I get these great people to refer me other great people? And you worked with influential people in Sioux Falls, whether it's the car dealer owner or the financial advisor or whatever. And I watched you do it, right? And you leveraged your technical abilities to get strategic and adding value and solving their problems, and your trust builder to build these like really solid, productive relationships. Would you agree with that's how you did it?
Yeah. I'm freaking out. That's kind of like.
And then when you decided to go build Windsor and you're like, I'm going to see 600 loan officers a month and I'm going to get on planes and trains and automobiles and get out in the world, you really leverage being a networker. And guess what? You're still super, super freaking strategic. What is the value add? How am I going to stand out? How do I solve problems that nobody else is going to solve? How do I be the little guy that's competing against the freaking UWMs and rockets of the world? And so you are using your strategic brain, building networking. And then of course you really worked hard on, and still do every day, on building trust. Like you're better than anybody at just random phone calls to say, yo, Shay, and like adding value and loving on people. And so of course, you've built this massive thing. You're using 3 archetypes really well. And now look at you with marketing. So I just think the message for everybody is don't try to be Chris, because Chris is actually doing all 4 of these on steroids, like seriously steroids. But I need you to work 2. I need you to know your primary and secondary. And then that is what you've got to go do. The last thing I'll say about this, because this kind of feeds into the June 12th call, is that rainmakers do 5 things. Okay. These are the 5 things that they do. They have a rainmaker mindset. They wake up every day and say, it's my job to make it rain. I am a relationship builder. I solve problems for a living. I'm a salesperson. And they live this, right? You live this every single day, Chris. Is it not sharing my screen?
You just lost it.
Oh.
I don't know why it does that.
I'm really not used to whatever we're on here. StreamYard.
We have StreamYard. Okay.
Can you see it now?
It's coming up. Oh yeah, there it is.
Okay, number 2, you work a prospecting plan. Chris, I know you teach this stuff relentlessly, but when I all of a sudden went from being stuck at $300,000 a year, working 10 hours a day, it was because I was being reactive all the time. I didn't have time blocking. I didn't have theme days. I didn't have a plan for, I want my business to come from 3 pillars, and here's what I'm going to do to build those pillars and support them. So you got to have a prospecting plan, and as simple as just spending 2 hours a day prospecting intentionally, that will make you a rainmaker. And again, if you're a networker, go network. If you're a trust builder, go one-on-one. If you're a marketer, you better be relentless about telling stories in every platform you can to create marketing. And then your other archetype has to close the door. Because if you just spray and pray and do, like if Chris was just his fabulousness on social media and this funny, amazing, great, entertaining guy on social media, That would be nice, but you wouldn't be converting relationships until you make the call, you have the meeting, you ask the questions. Am I right, Chris?
Oh, for sure. It would not have a good ROI.
No. Okay. So number 3 is you got to book 2 appointments every single day. Rainmakers are salespeople that go from appointment to appointment to appointment. If you're not seeing 10 people a week, whether it's borrowers, whether it's agents, whether it's people in your community, like you're not in sales, you're definitely not going to be a rainmaker. The 4th thing is you got to be bold. And I think this is what, when you talked about, Shayla said she wanted me to stop being perfect. I want you to mess up your hair a little bit, Chris. I want you to be emotional and imperfect and vulnerable and real and approachable versus like, what we all think. I was 23 when I started. Is anyone really going to trust me with their stuff? How do I have to be buttoned up? What role or persona do I need to play? Like, drop all that shit. You've got to get back to, let me speak from my heart. Let me lean in and be totally engaged with you. And then it's very simple. We could give you all the closing tactics. Forget about it. Just go from next step to next step. There's always got to be a next step. Like if Chris was prospecting me or me, him after this call, it's like, what's the next step? And then after that, it's just not complicated. You will do business moving people from next step to next step.
It's not a big step either.
No, it's
just little steps.
Yes. The last thing is you got to track everything, right? So Chris, I don't know if I even told you this, but I created a planner. This is my Catalyst planner. I coach it in Catalyst. Every day I do a hot 15 in the morning. I look at my calendar. I write it all out. I think about every meeting. I think about what would win the meeting. I make a list of who I'm going to call, and I go back through and say, did I call them? Yes or no? Who do I need to book meetings with? Did I make meetings? Yes or no? Who needs follow-ups? Like, you've just got to track it, because otherwise, you're beating yourself up and always looking at the gap and thinking, why am I not there yet? And you're looking at the outcomes, and your self-esteem and confidence is coming from outcomes instead of from effort.
Yeah.
And you got to be honest with yourself. So many people are like, gosh, I'm not doing the business. And I'm like, how many hours are you working?
Right.
Like, for real. Because like you're sitting at home and like you turn your computer on, you've gotten a cup of coffee. Like, what? Let's track the hours that we're working. Let's track the leads, let's track everything. So long story short, on June 12th, Chris, I'm going to take this to the next level, which is, now you know your archetype. Okay. Now you know the 5 things you need to do. You got to embrace being a salesperson. Now, what is the action plan? How are we going to help you become a rainmaker? And so I came up with this thing called a 10-10-10 challenge. Okay. Which is, first, you've got to go audit your lists, because salespeople have lists. They have targets. We are like lions in the jungle. We got to go out and go get it, right? Yes. So you got to audit your list. Everybody has to get really real that they need way more partners right now to even keep our volume the same.
Right.
My newsletter yesterday was like, we have a supply and demand problem. There's too many realtors for the number of transactions. Yeah. We've had a supply and demand problem on the loan side. I think that's really coming close to getting worked out. The problem is that now there's too many realtors on the realtor side. That herd has not thinned out enough yet. So every one of our realtors is competing for a smaller pie with still way too many realtors. So guess what? If you have not expanded your realtor base, you could have the most loyal, badass, awesome, loving realtor partners. But if you haven't gone out and met at least 25% more and had business meetings with them and set up new partnerships, your volume's gone backwards.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I'm interviewing people on my podcast. I'm looking at the data every day. I lead 75 loan officers that are on my team. Like, it's black and white, guys. We've got to go meet new people. So this 10-10-10 allows you to not go out and cold call, not go out and network if you don't want to network, not go out and scream on social media if you shouldn't be. Like, if you're not a marketer, just stop it. Stop beating yourself up for not being on video or social every day. That's not what you need to do. You need to literally go belly to belly and just go have one-on-ones, and your business will change in 90 days.
Yeah.
So 10-10-10.
Don't miss this call then.
What's that?
Great. This is going to be great.
Thanks. I'm excited about it. If you could
tell. How long is it? So I can plan for it. Like, I know the date. I know the
So
time. How long is it going to go?
it's an hour and a half, and I may not need that much time. But the reason I want to give enough time is because I'm going to teach the scripts. See, so many people are like, okay, I get in concept that I'm going to come up with my 10 favorite people. Like, and I'm pretty sure this is what you did in Sioux Falls when you started originating. Like, who are the 10 people in this town that I admire, respect, that know me, that know I'm credible, that like have watched me perform, that aren't competitive with my loan officers? Who are 10 people? That's it. I'm not asking for a list of 40 or 50 or 60 or 100 people you know. I'm asking for 10.
10.
And then I'm asking you to get referrals, one referral from each of those 10 people to somebody else awesome.
Yeah.
Do they have to be real estate agents? No.
Right.
And I'll go through all that.
Okay.
So what's the script? What's the mindset? What's the process to get your 10? What's the script to get 10 names from the 10?
Yeah.
And it's very simple. I know you know it, Chris, because you're a rainmaker yourself to the highest degree. But we're going to go over that script. And then once you have those 10 names, what's the script to get a meeting? Because salespeople have meetings and they have business meetings. Guys, too many people are going to coffees, if at all, and they're having buddy coffees. Like we are in business. We don't need to make more friends. We need to have business meetings. And I have a very simple script and structure to the perfect business meeting. Okay. And then how are you going to stay in flow after you've had a business meeting to actually convert them into a referral and an A lead, somebody who's highly referred, that does business your way, and that is ready and able to transact? Because I promise you, if you could start generating, you create it as a rainmaker, highly referred customers that will meet with you and go through your process and follow your process, you will start enjoying your job 10x. Your conversion will go up. You will start going, oh, I'm now not a commodity chasing people. I'm the advisor. I'm the business person. So that's why the call is an hour and a half. It's 9:30 Pacific to 11 Pacific on the 12th. And then I am enrolling people into Catalyst for my quarterly enrollment. So I have a coaching program. It's $300 a month, Chris, because I want to help people freaking become rainmakers. I want to help people stand in their power. I want to help people become bold, pull off the mask, like put their heart on the line and fucking change their lives. Yeah. And so the people who join in Q3 Catalyst, because it's one call a week, and I get you the planner and you start following the planner. I'm going to hold her hand through this 10-10-10. And we've already got an awesome community in Catalyst, but I only open enrollment once a quarter. But don't even worry about Catalyst. One step at a time, just come to the June 12th 10-10-10. And then I will step you through this because I've been through it. You and I have helped so many people do it. It's what I want my leaving imprint and legacy to be on the industry, is help people become rainmakers.
If you're not fired up, and if you're not going to be on this call, you're just an idiot. You might as well just get out of the mortgage business. Like, this is so simple, so easy. It's not asking for the world. It's just asking for the 10-10-10 strategy. But that's not the secret. Like, okay, she gave you the 10-10-10. But what she didn't give you is what I call the Shayla secret sauce. It is the scripts. Like, taking those scripts and then simply having even your phone on record so you can have it, so you can practice it. It will change you and you will be able to be the rainmaker in the 10-10-10. So don't forget to put it on your calendar and show up. It's an hour and a half that will change your business. And how many people could do 10-10-10? All of us. And that's what I love. And then go check out her coaching. She slumped it a little bit. It is a cool coaching program. It is not expensive, but it is highly involved and it requires you to do the work. So if you want to do the work, pay a little bit of money, it'll change your business. Shay, you're amazing. By the way, I feel like you beat me in fired up mode. Like, I just was saying to myself, shit, she's more powered up. She's more fired up than I am. Gosh darn it. I got to step it up again because I'm here and you're here and I didn't like it. But thanks for coming on. Thanks for being fired up. Thanks for making a difference in loan officers' lives. And I think you're going to be so surprised about how big June 12th is going to be.
Thank you. I just love you, Chris, and I love what you're doing for all of us. And you do bring level 1000 energy in everything you do. I mean, your post yesterday with the video, I was like, what is he doing? I didn't even watch it with sound on the first 3 times. I was just like, he is nuts. And then I listened to the sound and I was like,
it wasn't my idea, but I loved doing it, by the way. Kaylin kills it. Don't try to steal her from me, guys. Don't try to steal her. She's so cool. And it was her idea. So I appreciate you, Shay.
Love you too, buddy. I appreciate you too. Thanks for this opportunity.
Guys, don't hang up. I want to make sure that you listen to this short little video from a great sponsor. We know that you have all of the choices for AMCs out there. This is one that Windsor endorses. We use. They're great. They always got our back. So check out a message from our sponsor.
When we say Arrives is a national company with a local presence, that's not just a quaint, cute saying. It actually means something.
The saying is what they offer, national coverage with local management, but it's also what they value and what makes them unique from any other appraisal management company out there.
Jane might be good at new builds, Bob might be better at historical properties, etc., etc. And you can only know that going back to the people business with relationships built on the ground by our area directors, specifically with the appraisers there on the local level.
Each area director, experienced appraisers themselves, knows the nuances of their area, enabling them to use the best appraiser for each assignment. But they say local insight alone isn't enough.
You need that protection, a national appraisal management company, somebody who knows what they're doing with the rules and the regulations and are making sure things are done good.
That's where the Arrives unique national local model really shines.
Founder and CEO Brian Caffrey says they're not a one-package-fits-all company that spits out appraisals, and they don't want to be.
You're looking for something higher quality, someplace that is going to take care of your transaction, take care of your loan officers, take care of your borrowers, take care of your branches, brokers.
And they have the perspective to do that. Their client manager, Greg Renkenberger, has over 30 years experience in lending.
From a lender side, there's no better person than me to be with an appraisal management company because I know what the lender's feeling. I know what they're experiencing. I know the anxieties.
That insight lets them provide clients with service they won't get anywhere else.
We look at Arrives as a concierge appraisal management company, so we have specific people designed to work directly with those clients and build those relationships.
It's more than just answering the phone, it's working together.
The borrower is satisfied and they get a good experience, not just a good value on the appraisal, but a good overall experience, good communication. Then they're going to come back, and they're going to come back to the lender, the realtor, and then to us.
More than just an appraisal management company, a partner.
They told me only time will tell what the market will actually do, but whatever that is, they'll be ready. To learn more about Arrives, you can visit them at arrives.com, or if your mortgage lender is already an Arrives partner, yours is, you can order your next appraisal through them and see the difference for yourself. In Mesa, Arizona, at the Arrives headquarters, I'm Allison Caffrey.